Hey guys, welcome. I know it's been a couple of days. We didn't stream on Friday or this weekend, but we're back today. We have a week left. I think by next Monday is the 31st. I'll double check, but yes, it is. So we have a week left, and we're at 44,000 words. So the goal of today is to reach 46,000. 46 something. It's like 500 or something. Yeah, 46,400 plus like 52 or something. But you know, that means we're super close to the 60,000. I think if I would have stuck to the 50,000, we would have been okay, but I did say I was going to write 60,000 words. And at this point, it's kind of like I finished the story. So there's that. But then I was looking through the whole document and transferring over things to the original. Because remember, I started writing this like 10 days before NaNoWriMo. And so I did have some words already finished. And I didn't count those. I'm not counting those. But whatever I have on the document, I did transfer over. And that document has 50,000 words. And I'm like, yeah, but it's still not enough for a dark fantasy novel. At least it has to be more than that, for sure. And so what I've been doing this weekend is going back through the story and adding more things to characters, like having them interact with each other more. You know, I feel like I didn't have that much dialogue between characters, and so I've added Michael and Lucinda talking more to build that trust, because I was remembering what I wrote and it seemed like they just decided to trust each other just because it was necessary for the plot. So there's that. I also added more scenes with Mother Yolanda. I mentioned her like in chapter like 1 of the original story. She's oversees a lot of the orphans and the sisters, because they're not nuns. A sister and a nun are two different things. And so she oversees them in education. And I was like, oh man, I totally forgot this character. And so I added a bit more scenes with her. But then we were going to add another scene with her because unfortunately she's not making it to the end. But I did come up with at least 8 scenes that I need to add. And they're not going to really go in order. I'm just going to write them out, you know, one scene after another. But I'm using paragraph breaks or like our little pound sign. And that way, you know, once I'm done, I'll just transfer over to the part. Find the part they're supposed to go into and stuff on the original. But that's just me on my end. So the big thing was that we never introduced Mayor Asher's family. And Sheriff Whitman and Mayor Asher had this conversation like by the end of the story. So I'm actually going to provide a bit more information about Asher's involvement with the whole vampire stuff that was happening in town. I'm also going to introduce their family. And then I'm going to add more to the scene where the ghoul breaks into the church. And Mother Yolanda is going to interfere with that. And other scenes as well. I feel like there's a lot more I can add to the story. At least at first I was like, I don't have anything else, and then I really read through it again and it's like, oh wait, let me explain a bit more here. Alright, so this scene is going to be right when the cleanse start, where there's a ceremony, they have the procession, and then end up all the way to Mayor Asher's house. You know, they have a celebration, and then they're attacked by ghouls. Raymond loses an arm. So there's that. So yeah, this scene is gonna go before the ceremony starts. That way, you know, we add a bit more information to what's happening around town. We need names. I think it's, let's see. We'll call him Lily. Do we have a Thomas in this story? I feel like we have a Thomas. Yes, Thomas. Yep, we do. Okay. George? Do we have a George? No, we don't. Okay. Asher's children are called George and Lily. We might change that, but still. We'll write that down. And now for his wife, we're gonna call her Margaret. There we go. This is for like 2,000 words, give or take. And then hopefully, I don't know, I feel like I may have rushed the ending too much, so I have to add more to it. Because Sheriff Whitman talked about a witness. Maybe we'll find that witness got taken care of and find their body or something. I don't know. We'll have to see. See, what was... Connie. Connie is the, like, butler lady. I feel like it's not Connie that's taking care of the children. They need, like, a nursemaid. So... Bonnie or well, like, it could be, like, Connie's daughter. What's a good name for her? Rosa. We'll call her Rosa. I mean, it makes sense, I think. I was looking around and I had like a red hook, crochet hook, and I'm like, yep, Rosa, let's go. Take inspiration from everything around you. Alright, so now that we've figured out the characters in the scenes, we're good now. Let's see. Let's see. Rosa, Lily said, sitting in front of the vanity. We're just gonna start up. I feel like every time I enter a scene, there's dialogue, but we're just gonna get into it and we'll just add things if we need to. Do you think Papa will let us attend the festival? The nursemaid brushed Lily's hair with a comb. She tilted her head. It's rather late, Rosa replied. The children should already be asleep. Lily grabbed her nightgown with both hands. It was unfair. She had worked with her mother to decorate the courtyard for the festivities. Shouldn't she see how it turned out? There we go. Alright, so because there were ghouls underneath the cellar, so I'm gonna have it where stuff happens. And this is I'm hoping like this scene is like good enough. We'll see. Let me see. What about mother? Will she attend as well? George is with her now. Whoops, I can't spell. Perhaps she has the energy to attend. So we're thinking Lady Margaret. Would it miss the cleanse? She's been looking forward to it all year. So Rosa finished brushing Lily's hair. Time for bed. In the morning, we'll have your favorite biscuits. Saddened, Lily climbed into bed. So Rosa blew out the candles or the and left the room. I think Lily laid in bed, unable to sleep. She couldn't hear the music just yet, so the progression hadn't arrived. Surely she could wander around a bit and see the decorations before anyone arrived. There we go. So Lily climbs out of bed. And tiptoes to the door. She opens it and peers outside. There are no guards around. And she can't see Rosa or Connie anywhere. Oh wait, this needs to be past tense, so we'll do that. Yeah, we're changing up the tense, and that's not good. There we go. I think when I'm done, because I'm actually in like first week of August, I'm actually going on vacation finally, so I'm planning on printing this out and taking it with me on the plane so I can read it. It's like a 2-hour flight, so it's not too bad. 2, almost 3 hours, depending. And I'm planning on like taking it with me and reading it, and making notes and see like what else I need to rewrite and add. At least with that, you know. Well, then again, I maybe just take a break for that week. Maybe I should just not look at it. Well, then it's tough though, because it's like, yay, I want to get into it and rewrite it, but at the same time, it's like you need to take a break from writing the story because it's so fresh in your mind. So we'll see. So Lily closed the door and grabbed her robes off the chair. He secured it before stepping out of the room. The night had gotten chilly, and there was no use in getting sick like her mother. Because I think her mom's been sick for a while, and maybe that's why Mayor Asher decided to be in cahoots with the vampires for some miracle cure, which is just like their miracle cure is turning everybody into vampires, right? Well, hey, if you're a vampire, you ain't sick no more. That should be a slogan. Put it on a sticker. Lily made her way down the corridor. George's room was not far from hers. He hadn't bothered to say good night to her. Maybe he was still accompanying their mother. There we go. Well, he was a year older than she. They were quite close. He didn't seem to mind her presence or questions. But he wasn't too friendly either. Most of the time, he locked himself in the library looking for a way to cure their mother. She had even overheard the servant talking about how he wanted to go to the oldest city and learn medicine. If that happened, Lily would be by herself. Their father was never around, and their mother was slowly dying. At the thought, Lily's heart squeezed. Other than Rosa and Connie, she would be all alone. Okay. Lily shook her head. Now wasn't the time to think about such things. Alright, she needed to go to the courtyard. And I'm not really gonna describe the whole house because I don't think it's necessary. There's a difference between necessary description and just other stuff that adds to the workout. And while yes, I want to add to the workout, at the same time, I might just have to take it out in the edit anyways. So it's like, I don't think I should add it for the sake of just adding it. With this though, you know, because I had said it before when I was writing the scene that, oh, there's no information about Mayor Asher's family. And so I feel like going into that is actually not that bad rather than just leaving it a mystery. She was halfway there. She was halfway to the stairs when a strange feeling wrapped around her chest. Lily slowed to a halt. There was something unnatural. Something that prevented her from taking another step forward. I've got to hurry, she thought, and yet she couldn't bring herself to move. Instead, Lily found herself shaking. She took a step back. Sweat, her nightgown stuck to her back. Because she's like not sensing the presence. It's more like, even though she doesn't have anything like special, it's more like deep down she's aware there's a predator nearby and she's scared. A hand grabbed her elbow. Jumping, she yelped. The noise carried or echoed, I guess, throughout the corridor. Fearfully, he turned and saw George. His eyes were wide and his complexion pale. Wordlessly, he grabbed her hand and ran. Lily followed after him, breath caught in her throat. Their footsteps were muffled against the carpet. George rushed into the study room and pulled her under the table. From there, he adjusted the chairs around them. So he kind of sensed it too. Lily, let's see, covered her mouth with both hands. George placed a hand on her back. "You can't make a sound," he whispered. They both sat still, listening. Then, just outside the room, something stopped by the door. Its shadow elongated, I guess, across the floor in front of them. The siblings held their breath. Whatever it was not Rosa, Connie, or anyone else that lived in the manor. There you go. Ooh, that's kind of creepy. But they could just like, it was just instinct, you know, that made them run and hide. Ugh. And so, Lily held her breath. She didn't know what that was. The creature, as she and George called it. No one else believed them when they said they've seen something moving in the manor, because like everyone's kind of in like denial, I guess. But I don't know if it would be denial. It's more like it don't matter. I don't know. Yeah, I think it's like they don't want. No one wants to. I mean, I feel like they know what's going on, but they don't want to admit it to the kids, because then, you know, kids talk and they say everything. But I might have to think about it a bit more. Alright, so we'll talk a little bit more about that. Their father, I'll just call it the mayor, refused to even listen to them. All the grown-ups ever said was never go to the courtyard at night, or never go anywhere alone. You know what? We could have Lady Margaret almost transforming into a vampire. Or maybe the transformation is not always successful, which is probably why the broodmother tried to turn so many. Only like a few were able to successfully go through the process. So maybe the reason why Lady Margaret is sick, she was supposed to get better when she transformed into a vampire, but her body is rejecting it, and so that's why she's sick. Okay, so actually, I think that'd be a good something to keep. So I'll write that down. Lady M was sick. Broodmother basically tricked Asher into helping the vampires because the broodmother said she had a cure. And then, so Lady Margaret was supposed to change into a vampire as the quote-unquote cure. But maybe she was just, was she too sick or just not compatible? I mean, it doesn't really matter. It just, she wasn't able to go through the transformation. And she's still dying. It's just very painfully. I mean, this is like a dark fantasy novel, so it's like, yeah, it's not fun or happy. It's grim. And you know, it's also like, hopefully, you know, the theme is, what are you willing to like sacrifice, right? All right, so we wrote that down. All right. Never go anywhere alone. George rubbed Lily's back, trying to comfort her. But even he couldn't stop shaking. His eyes were glued to the door. If the creature came into the study, he had sensed it. Maybe he has like, well, I guess George can be very religious. He has sensed it earlier, coming back from visiting his mother. The terror he felt many months ago had returned. Maybe we can just have like a sentence that says it's not the same as a priest or a holy knight, but you know, just instinct. He had never seen it, nor wished to, but there was something prowling through the darkness. something his father refused to acknowledge. Well, we already know that. It was his job to keep Lily safe. Children, a warm voice called out. Lily and George stared at each other wide-eyed. It sounded like her mother. Could it be a trick? Or was it really her? George shook his head at Lily, begging her not to say a word. Children, the voice came again. It's time for bed. Come out. George closed his eyes. This time there were footsteps. The door to the study opened, and the siblings jumped like, ugh. I mean, I do kind of want to add a little bit of like creepiness to this. We already have the weird tentacle monster, but you know, them running away and hiding from what could be something, it's like also creepy. So I want to add that. A figure in a long white nightgown walked into the room carrying a candle. What are those called? Not what's a device? It's the wick, right? No, not the wick. That's the center part. Shoot. Candle. It's just a candlestick holder. Yeah, okay. I was like, what? It's, man, the simplest things. Simplest things. Taper candlestick? No, it's just a candlestick holder. Okay. Yeah, we'll just leave it at that. Carrying a candle stick holder. Children, are you there? Lady Margaret called. Sobbing, Lily rushed out from under the desk. George grasped at empty air, his heart in his throat. Mother, Lily cried. Don't worry, nothing's gonna happen to the children, okay? It's not that type of dark. Well, not. No, it's nothing. They're just scared. You were never in danger. Trembling, George looked out from under the desk. It was indeed their mother. See, there's just they're playing hide and seek. Lily threw her arms around her mother, sobbing. Oh my, Lady Margaret said. What's happened? What's happened? Did you have a nightmare? George crawled out of under the desk. He adjusted the chairs. George, what were you two doing under there? It's too late to be playing. Oops, used the wrong there. George couldn't bring himself to speak. Sheepishly, he looked at her and not for the first time felt pain. Lady Margaret was a husk of her former self. The once brown curls had thinned. Dark bags under her eyes. He could even see her bones from under her skin. Even despite that, she was still beautiful to him. Mama, Lily said, sniffing. There was a sorry, Mother, George interrupted. We got a little excited and wanted to see the festival. Lily closed her mouth, nodding. I'm afraid you're too young for that still. Now, let's get you both to bed. It's far too late to be roaming the manor at this time of night. But why, Mother? George asked. Lady Margaret gave him a look. Children need their rest. Now, off to bed, both of you. If I catch you again, you'll be grounded. I mean, that's, what it is. Reluctantly, both siblings headed to bed. Like, they still want to see it, but at the same time, it was almost dangerous. Oops. Almost. So now, you know what? I almost thought about this. Well, I just thought about this right now. Not that almost, but what if Lady Margaret does end up turning into a ghoul? Like, she's already halfway there and she's dying. But what if she does transform and it's the one that attacks the courtyard? That'd be pretty good, actually. And then Mayor Asher can lie and say, oh, she went to visit family. Or something. Or she ran away with somebody else. I don't know. I don't know. That'd be something to think about. Because if I already made it where, she was sick, the broodmother tried to change her, that didn't go as planned, and now she's, like, painfully wasting away. But, like, part of the vampire blood is still trying to heal her, but it's very painful. Alright, well, they got to bed, so now... So they hear that, they go back to bed. I'm just crossing it out. And now... Lady Asher and her husband are about to have a conversation. Lady Margaret watched them head down the corridor. Feeling weak, she leaned against the doorway. Nowadays, she had no strength to stand. Dear Mayor Asher called out from behind her. Lady Margaret scowled and walked into the study room. Lord Asher followed. Scowled, glared, grimace. Yeah, that's about right. My dear Lady Asher. What is Lord Asher's name? What's his name? We need to think of, because Asher is just the last name. George Asher, Lily Asher, Margaret Asher. So now we need a name. His first name. I didn't really think much about him, at all. Alright, let's see. Nothing like too much. Isaac. I thought we had an Isaac. We have an Ethan. Caleb? That doesn't sound right. Could call him Jack. No, that doesn't sound right either. Man, all these names. Peter Asher. We'll call him Peter for now. It's in the rough draft. We can change people's names later, right? I feel like we could. Definitely. Peter said, "What are you doing out of bed?" Lady Asher glared at her husband. The children were roaming at night. Did you not make it clear that they need to stay in their rooms when the sun, in their rooms after sunset? Peter took the candlestick holder from his wife and placed it on the desk. "I will talk to them again," he began. "They're old enough to know better." Did something happen? No. But it could have. They were in danger tonight. How long must we keep those things in our house? Lord Asher rubbed his face. "Your health is our top priority." "I'm dying, Peter," he told him. "That woman lied to us. There is no cure. We can't keep putting the children in danger. I cannot allow it." "There is a cure," Peter said, frustrated. "Why can't you believe in me? All I've done is for this family." And so, yet that family is in danger every night. It reminded him. If I hadn't sensed that creature, it would have attacked the children. How did it manage to escape? I thought you had it handled. I do, he sighed. Go back to bed. I'll take a look and make sure this doesn't happen again. He walked behind the desk and rang the call bell, or pulled the call string, I think it's called. Or is it? I don't know. I don't think it's a rope, but it's a lot thicker. I mean, it's a bell. Pulley system? Like, what? Could just be the bell pull, I think. Probably and use the servant call bell. Like, I'm like, words, what are they? I don't know. Oh man, I'm like starving right now. Where are we at? Okay, we're almost close. Wow, there's like 2 scenes and we're almost done with the 2,000 words. So I had 8 scenes prepared and we're finished almost with 2, and that's almost 2,000 words. So hopefully the next few days, I'll be able to have 2,000 words. I think some are shorter than the others, but these are 2 completely new scenes, so they are longer. Rosa appeared a few minutes later. You called, my lord? Escort Lady Asher to her room. Make sure the children are in bed. Rosa bowed. Then again, Rosa's a nursemaid, but she's probably like a nanny or something. Regardless, she works for them. At once. Alone in the study, Mayor Asher sunk into his chair. He took a shaky breath. Yeah, because I mean, he is scared. It's just like he can't really go against them at this point. Everything he had sacrificed was for his family, and yet that didn't mean anything. Tomorrow, he thought to himself, I'll speak with the mother tomorrow. From outside the window, he saw the procession walking closer. He pulled a mirror from his desk, forcing a smile on his face. He kept practicing until Connie appeared in the doorway. Sir, she said, Father David and the procession have arrived. With his smile more relaxed, Mayor Asher went to greet them. There we go. Whew. Yeah, okay, pretty cool, pretty cool. Now, when he talks to the with the procession, when he welcomes them. Oops. There we go. I'm gonna add the dialogue. where his wife is indisposed and they can't say, she can't welcome them basically. So we'll do this. Thank you for giving me and my family the pleasure of being part of the cleanse procession. Mayor Asher said, my wife, Lady Asher, is indisposed at the moment. The children were not feeling well, so she decided to stay at their sides. During this time, I asked for prayers to help in Lily and George's recovery. As he finished, the townspeople bowed their heads in prayer. And that's okay, that's that scene. So that's like 3 scenes right there. Okay, so that's gonna be 3 scenes. Well, at least 2 really, because when the children are like sense the ghoul, and when Lady Asher and her husband argue, that is 2 scenes, and this one's the 3rd one. So yeah, that's 3 scenes, but the first 2 just kind of like melded, or like they go together, like it's supposed to be back to back. So we are at 46,000 right now. Let me see, how much do we need for today? We need 400 more words. Okay. All right, so the next scene, it's I have it where Mother Yolanda, the character that I totally forgot from the first page, she's returning to the church. I believe. Yes, she will. So we'll start with some dialogue again. Leaving so soon, Mother Yolanda. Mother Yolanda smiled at the question. Oh yes, dear. I'm much too old. She's not that old. She's like, I don't want to be here no more. Well, no, she's very responsible, but I think I must go check on the children. She said, I've some more business to take care of at the church tonight. I hope you understand. Miss Holt. Oh no, Mrs. Holt, I think. Wait, what is the... Because she's a widower now. Oh, still okay, Mrs. Because MISS is like unmarried, I think. MS, I think, is neutral. Ms. Ms. and Miss and Mrs. Okay. Clasped her hands. You should take or maybe a thank you for all your hard work. Mother Yolanda smiled. Well, Mother Yolanda, I guess, gave her a hug. A hug is not that, you know, terrible. Mother Yolanda I guess I don't know, this kind of sounds awkward as she's patting her shoulder, but alright. You don't have to force yourself to be here tonight. She told the widow. No one will blame you if you wish to go home. Mrs. Holt rubbed her eyes. I can't be alone tonight. Kids are in bed, but I can't get a wink of sleep. Mother Yolanda put a hand across Mrs. Holt's shoulder. How about I brew you some tea to help you sleep. Come, I will walk you home. There you go. The two women departed from the festivities. The walk back to Mrs. Holt was a long but quiet one. Yeah, so she'll Mother Yolanda will take her home and then go back to the church. Yeah. Because I mean, I didn't have that many characters from the townsfolk really showing up doing anything. But I guess just going back to Mrs. Holt, her husband died in the first chapter, would be okay. I think Cutler was the widow. Is that what Thomas said? Yeah, that's what he said. Mr. Cutler does not have a wife, but Mr. Holt did. I'll write that down too in case I forget. All right, there we go. They quietly went inside the house as to not disturb the children. Mother Yolanda brewed tea while Mrs. Holt sat at the table staring into empty space. The sister pulled her special tea bag from her robes. This is a pastime of mine, he told Mrs. Holt. Mr. Desner grows various flowers in the garden that I use to brew tea. Thank you, Mother Yolanda. I'm sorry to be such a burden when you have your duties. Don't be silly. Taking care of the people in Kanya is my duty. Mother Yolanda poured the tea into a cup. Then again, it's super late. Let me see. Mrs. Holt lit a candle and placed it. Hang on. My cats are like running all over the place and into the closet and everything. They do this once in a while. It seems like it happened more lately though. Placed it and place the candlestick holder on the table. Here, she said, drink it while it's hot. There is plenty left, so you can reheat it when you need it. If you run out, well, you know where to find me. So then Mother Yolanda stayed a few more minutes before departing. In the dark, she walked back to the church. A few guards on patrol I guess crossed her path. She had planned to stay for the festivities, but couldn't bring herself to enjoy it. The children, despite her attempts, were still rebellious. She needed to make sure they didn't stay up. To make sure they were in bed. Not to mention, Linda was at the church as well. There had been no guards on duty to watch her. Sheriff Whitman hadn't bothered sending a guard either. It wasn't like she didn't trust Lucinda, but the people were quick to spread rumors when the situation favored them. Besides, with all the missing people and the deaths, Mother Yolanda was not in a festive mood. If anything, she planned on holding a silent prayer tonight. To send blessings to all those who were affected. There we go. So we're looking a little bit more into Mother Yolanda, and I know I haven't really mentioned her a lot. We have 2 scenes in the beginning, 3 scenes in the beginning where I do mention her. This is just another scene where I want to get a little bit more into her thoughts. Okay, but I think we are at our workout. Okay. All right, we are at 46,458. And then, yep, I think we made it. So let me go ahead and update the website. I'm lucky enough. I'm lucky enough that I actually had scenes to add to things, because otherwise it wouldn't have been good. So now we have five more scenes to write. I mean, we've done part of 4, or we added 1 more, so that was technically 9. We've done 4 scenes, and then Mother Yolanda will reach the church, and some other stuff will happen. So we are at 46,000 where we need to. Tomorrow we'll be at 48,000. I think we'll get the 2,000 words tomorrow as well. I think we'll at least 3 scenes, and then hopefully by Thursday. No, tomorrow's Tuesday, so that's another Wednesday. We'll hit 50,000. But that's what I've planned, and then I'll keep looking throughout the story to see what other scenes need to be added. Well, you know, Michael did see some fresh dirt in the cellar, which was weird. So maybe Michael goes back. Michael returns to Asher's home to investigate. And I'm writing this down in case I forget. So that could be another scene, that Michael returns to investigate. And that's when Margaret ends up, like, turning or something. And stuff happens there. There's conflict there. Or I think Margaret, you know, and yeah. Something. I might have to think about that a bit more, but I think he would investigate. And then I did mention that there is a witness, so maybe Michael tries to talk to the witness that supposedly saw Lucinda kill 3 people. But she really didn't do that at all. So then we have 2 other scenes. Like the whole Michael goes back to investigate. That's like a big chunk. So let me write that down. But then, you know, witness disappears. I don't know. There we go. Okay, well then. That's a lot. That was a lot. So this is where we're gonna go ahead and wrap up the stream. We did get a lot done. We got the 2,000 words, and I could just keep writing, but I want to save the... I want to save it for tomorrow, so that way I have actual content, you know? But I'm really thankful for everybody. We're almost done. I will be taking like a week break. Maybe the whole month of August. I might have some videos up. I'm not sure. But we'll see. And then... yeah, it's just a lot of like, everything's up in the air, so we'll see what's happening, but I'll keep you guys posted on what I'm doing. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I hope to catch you guys later. Bye.